Hey everyone, welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. So today we have a drag build and tune for this 1999 Lamborghini Diablo GTR. So if you enjoyed the video or find it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, so first off here we're going to be taking our Lamborghini Diablo GTR up to the festival drag strip, so that we can see how fast it is by the speed trap at the end. So pulling up to the line here, we're going to launch this car from about 4,000 RPM, and as soon as we take off we'll shift into second gear, just like that, up into third now, fourth and fifth. We can hold all the way up until the speed trap, and we got a speed of 387 kilometers an hour. Alright, so now we're taking the Diablo GTR into the festival drag strip race so that we can see how fast it is against the other cars, as well as getting a time by the end. So we should be able to out-launch and beat everyone here, as this is pretty much the fastest drag car in the game at the moment. So up into 5th gear, then 6th, completely smashing everybody. We won that super easily, and we got a time of 12.4 seconds. Alright, so now that we've seen how fast the Diablo GTR is, we'll now take it over to the festival and I'll show you how to upgrade and tune it. Alright, so first we're taking the Diablo into the custom upgrade menu here. So first off we'll come over to the conversions tab and into engine swaps. In here we're putting in the 6.5 litre V12, as well as changing the car to all-wheel drive and putting on the twin turbos. So out of conversions, we'll now come into air and appearance and remove the rear wing, as this saves weight on the car. So now into the tyres and rims, we're going to be putting on the drag tyre compound, as well as making the front and rear tyres as wide as possible. Then changing out the rim style for something a little bit more lightweight. Obviously pick whatever you want here, as long as it is lighter. So out of the rims, we're just going to add some spaces to the front and rear of the car now. So that's it for the tyres and rims. Now we'll come over to the drivetrain. In here we'll be putting in the 7-speed race transmission, as well as the race driveline and the race diff. Out of drivetrain and into platform and handling, in here you'll want the race brakes, then the off-road or the rally springs and dampeners, then the race weight reduction. So out of the platform and handling, now into engine, so it's going to max out everything in here. So the race intake, race fuel system, race ignition, race engine block, race pistons and compression, race twin turbos, and finally the race intercooler. So that's it as far as the upgrades go for the Lamborghini Diablo GTR, so you can go ahead and apply all of these. Alright, so now that we've upgraded the car, we can now come over to the custom tuning menu over here. So first I'll show you the metric tune, and then I'll show you the differences for the imperial tune, and I'll leave the tune code on screen now. So for the tire pressures, we're going to bring these down as low as possible, so 1.0 bar in the front and 1.0 in the rear. Then if we come over to the gearing, we're going to set our final drive down to 2.75. Just come down to there. First gear, we're going to set this to 4.40, like that. Second gear we'll set to 2.75. Third will be set to 1.96. Come down to there. Fourth will be set to 1.37. Come a fair way down. Fifth we'll set to 1.07. Come down to there. 6 we'll set this to 0.94. and 7th we can leave at 0.85. So now we'll come over to the alignment. So the front and rear camber angles, will set these to 0 degrees and the front cast angle to 7 degrees. Now if we come over to the anti-roll bars, we're going to stiffen these up as much as possible, so 65 in the front and also 65 in the rear. Now if we come over to the springs tab in the front here, you want to set these to 55.0, come all the way up to there. Then in the rear, we're going to set this to 59.0, come a little way up to there. Then for the ride heights, we're going to leave the front at 10.9, but we'll set the rear down to 7.5. So next, if we come over to the dampening, we're going to set our front rebound stiffness here down to 3.9. Then the rear rebound stiffness, we're going to set this to 5.1, come down to here. The front bump stiffness, we're going to set this to 3.6. And then the rear bump stiffness, we're going to bring this up to 14.7. So next we'll come into the aero. So in here we're just going to set our front downforce all the way to speed, which will be 38. And we can't change the rear here as we've already removed the wing. So next, if we come over to the differential tab at the end, we're going to set our front acceleration up to 90%. Then the rear acceleration, we'll bring this up to 95%. And then the center balance, will set this at 75%. So that's it as far as the metric tune goes for the Diablo GTR. So now I'll show you the differences for the Imperial tune. Alright, so as far as differences go for the Imperial tune, is you want 15 PSI in both the front and the rear tires of the car. Next, if we come over to the springs tab, you want to set the front springs to 308 and the rear ones to 330. Then the ride heights, you'll have 4.3 in the front and 2.9 inches in the rear. Then the last thing is the aero. So for the front downforce, you want to set this to 84. So that's it as far as the differences go for the Imperial tune. So you can go ahead and apply all of these. Alright everyone, so this has been a drag build and tune for the 1999 Lamborghini Diablo GTR. So if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe.